Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shofia Qonita. My number is A320200176. British Parliamentary has two sides to a motion, government and opposition, each with a front half and a back half team. In total, there will be 8 debaters in the room at once. Each speech is 6 or 8 minutes, mostly 7 minutes, depending on the House preference. BP rounds take a long time to finish, to sometimes hosts opt for a short time. Your objective is to the top-ranked team in the room. That means you must defeat the opposing teams and the team on your side without actually arguing with them. Front half teams need to stay relevant by having the most important argument and asking tons of polls. This helps them with a ranking and also allows them to defeat their back half team. The members in a BP debate and their shortcuts. Firstly is opening government by Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister. And second is opening opposition by Leader of the Opposition and Deputy Leader of the Opposition. Third is closing government by Member of Government, also called the Shadow Minister and Extension Speaker, and Government Whip. And the last is closing opposition by Member of Opposition, also called the Shadow Minister or Extension Speaker, and Opposite Whip. In BP debate, 4 teams will present their case. There are the opening and closing themes from the government and opposition side. Government must propose the motion as started. Opposition can choose how to negate the topic. What this means is that opposition does not have to negate everything. They may concede with certain points of government. Example, THY send ground troops to Syria. Opposition can opt to propose sending airstrikes via drones instead of ground troops. They will concede that military action is necessary and justified, but prefers a different method. This is a valid strategy. Role speakers refers to the unique roles that each speaker in the round has. These roles are a minimum standard required for the teams to do well in the debate. First is opening government. Prime Minister have to define the debate and explain details of motion and provide argumentation. And the next is Deputy Prime Minister has to clarify definition or stance if needed, provide responses and argumentation. Second is opening opposition. By Leader of Opposition have to set a clashing point with the government, provide responses and argumentation. And by Deputy Leader of Opposition have to clarify clashing point if needed and provide responses and argumentation. And third, and the next is closing government and opposition. Member of government and opposition have to provide mapping of the debate, explain distinct stance or approach, provide extension. And by government and opposition whip, summarize the debate and provide response and glorify member speaks extension. The next is POI in British debating system. A point of information is when a speaker on the opposite side of the table offers a short contribution to a speech, normally consisting of a question or comment of around 15-second duration. Points of information are one of the things that make British parliamentary debating more interesting and dynamic as a format, as it allows speakers to engage with one another's arguments throughout the debate, not just during their own speech. Sometimes it is called for general clarification, but oftentimes debates are there asks their opponent (POI) is to undermine their argument. Other functions of offering POI are to ask for clarify on certain things. What do you mean by legalizing prostitution? It is okay to do anywhere, or are you making localization? And B, to give a simple rebuttal towards the speaker, and C is challenging the opponent. The next is during the middle 5 minutes of speech, any participant across the table may request a POI. The speaker choose to accept or reject any POI request. Every speaker should accept at once one POI, and it's a good idea for a team to accept around 3 in total. The first and last minutes of each speech are considered protected time, and no POIs can be requested. The chair or judge selected to run the debate will ensure that clear time signals are maintained throughout the debate. A POI takes the form of a question or sometimes a statement, and if accepted, a questioner has 15 seconds to speak. The next is timing. Each round of debate focuses on a different motion. The motion is disclosed 15 seconds prior to the beginning of the first speech. During the 50-minute preparation time before the round, you may speak only to your partner. You can use only printed materials to prepare, and accessing electronic information about the motion is prohibited. A debate format consists of a description of the themes in the debate and the order and times for the speech that make up that debate. The British parliamentary debate format differs from many other formats because it involves 4 themes rather than 2. 2 themes called the first proposition or government, and the second proposition is or government. Teams are charged with the responsibility of supporting the proposition and motion, while 2 other teams, first opposition and second opposition, are charged with opposing it. 2 speakers represent each of the 4 teams, and each speaker gives a speech of 7 minutes. The next is adjudicator. Adjudicator is someone that have already passed the judge's exam in a term of debate. The adjudicator determines which of teams has performed better in a debate. This determination is made according to which team was more persuasive within the rules of debate, not according to which side of the argument the adjudicator agrees with. In addition, the adjudicator shouldn't have a close relation with one of the debates or team, and the adjudicator are not allowed to step in at the debate. The next is assessment in British debating system. After the conclusion of all speeches, the chair asks all participants to leave the room, and the chair and panelists then spend a few minutes deciding the debate. Each team is given a ranking: first place, or second place, or third place, or fourth place. Each speaker is assigned a speaker score on a 0 until 100 scale. When the decision is finalized, the judges invite the debaters back into the room, and the decision is announced, and the chair provides some reasoning to support the rankings. Also, always show respect toward the decision and the judging panel. Your ranking in each debate translations to point. You need to earn a certain amount of cumulative point throughout the parliamentary rounds. In order to advance into the elimination debate, you must reach the elimination round in order to place in the tournament. The adjudicator assembly must reach agreement on the value assignment to each team. Then each adjudicator will score each team and individually according to the agreed rating scale. If there is a member of the adjudicator who deviates from the agreed value, the member does not have to adjust the value and may complete his own scoring score. Team score and points should be given with the following interpretation. After the adjudicator agrees on the value that will be given to each team, each adjudicator will give an individual rating score for each member, provided that one overall team score is still within the agreed value range for that team. Individual rating scores should be given with the following interpretation. Ya, seperti